Hello. So, the next few videos, are definitely gonna have to be one-offs because I am having trouble with space on my computer. So, I got some things that I ordered in the mails, and I kind of just want to show them off a little bit. So, first of all, I've been pandering around this idea of me baking for the longest time, and because school in Korea got pushed back a total of 5 weeks, but it got pushed back 3 times for a total of 5 weeks. I had a lot of time, to do things. And one of the things that I did was when I first got back from the Philippines, or right before I left, I made the dough. And then when I got back from the Philippines, I actually baked lemon cookies. Now, these cookies were actually the very first cookies I've ever made from scratch. I want to say. Yeah. So these are actually the first cookies I've ever made from scratch. They weren't that bad, actually. I was pleasantly surprised. They were burnt for sure, but they weren't that bad. I even gave them to some of my co-workers, the ones who were at work anyway, and one of them said thank you. So I prefaced as I was giving it to all of them, I prefaced it with "맛 없을 수도 있어요," which is this could be disgusting. I have no faith in my skills. I did taste it before giving it to them, but I was still they could still not like it. It could still not be their thing. But I got a hand mixer delivered today because hand whipping butter is the devil's game. Okay. It's so tedious. And it's not even my hands hurt when I was doing it or anything. My arms felt fine when I was whipping butter, but it was just tedious and annoying and time consuming. So I was just I'm not doing this anymore. Also, to get butter to be a certain consistency when whipping it, you have to keep whipping it, and I feel I can only do I can only go about one level of that. So it was right for my lemon cookies, but moving on, I feel it would be beneficial to have an actual hand mixer, just so I can get the consistency that I require. But yeah, I'm gonna set y'all up real quick because I need my hands. I'm wearing shorts. Ooh, I also got a humidifier. Isn't she cute? So I slept wrong a few days ago. I think it was last week. I woke up after sleeping wrong and I felt nothing but pain in my neck, and then also okay, yes. So this is a baking sheet so that I can stop once I finish my foil and parchment paper. I'm going to start using this because saving money and the earth a little bit, excuse me. But yeah, my neck was really messed up, and and my throat was super dry. So I've been thinking, and I had been thinking about getting a humidifier for a while now, because my place is just really, really dry all the time. So after sleeping like that and feeling like shit, and also getting several nosebleeds last week, I decided finally to just buy a humidifier. I have not bled from my nose as much in my entire life as I have within the past like 6 months of living in my place. And I didn't realize why that was, or no, in the past year maybe. And I didn't realize why it was at first. I was kind of just like, oh, maybe it's just like a one-off thing, but it kept happening. And so I was like, okay, maybe it's because it's dry in here, because I did notice that, but I didn't really care too much. But yeah, pretty sure that's why. In a few months' time, you guys will know if this humidifier works for healing bloody noses. Okay. We have butter and some chocolate. There we go. Some chocolate chips. Ooh, these are tiny. I like how this came in this like refrigerated thing, but then these chocolate chunks came like just in a box. Also, these don't look these look very uniform for chocolate chunks. I'm kind of upset. I might as well have just gotten these chocolate chips. I wanted something that wasn't uniform. But, oh well. Yeah. We will have a baking video coming up soon, because it's themed. So, there's an occasion we're celebrating, just saying. But yeah. I can talk about how things have been here in Korea. So when CR first like came about and started to be a big deal, especially like in Korea, with the amount of I think what worried people was the amount of Chinese tourists that come in and out of Korea like on the regular, for various different things, like various different reasons. At first I think there was definitely like a lot of worry, but I feel like because the healthcare system here is so on point, not so many people were like terrified, because like any worries that anyone had were easily quelled, because because you could just go into like a drive-through area and get tested to see if you might have the virus. So after like a lot of people did that and a lot of people were proven to not have it, etc., I feel like any tension that there was kind of dissipated. I will say that yes, the streets are very, very empty, but given the fact that I live in not a city, the near opposite of a city, that doesn't look too different until you get onto the buses here. There's like one major place where people go to get groceries and things, and even if you go on the bus at like those usually peak times for people to be on, there aren't very many people on the bus, which is strange, but like understandable. They also closed a lot of places where people tend to gather, like traditional markets and things. And a lot of businesses are still running, especially restaurants and things. They're still running because it's their livelihood, you know. Um, but some of them will open for like a few hours at a time instead of for the whole day. Even though a lot of them are open, they won't have customers going into them. They'll have more so orders coming in, and they'll be sending them out for delivery, or people will come in to pick stuff up and then just leave. Um, so yeah, it's changed things a little bit, but not like extremely, I would say. Um, the country, not one part of it that I know of has ever been under quarantine. So yeah. um, right now, as a teacher, the way that this is affecting my work, it's not so much affecting it's affecting my paycheck to a small degree. As an EPIK teacher, you are paid a salary. You are paid a salary wage, and for each addition, and for people who usually, I want to say that this usually happens if you don't work in a city, but if you have travel schools that you go to, so like you'll have a main school that your contract is signed with, and then you'll have schools that you also visit throughout the week to teach at, separate from that main school. So I have 3 travel schools in total, although one of them is on the same campus as my main school because it is a middle school and a high school. So normally I would get 200,000 won in addition to my salary, in addition to my regular salary for going to these 3 schools. However, because I am not going to these 3 schools anymore, because we are actually doing classes online as of right now, because I don't go to those schools, I won't be getting that money. But for me, I'm not super hurt by that. And like, not to sound like I'm living large and I'm super financially independent and such, but well, I am financially independent. Not to say that I'm like financially stable, but I'm not like crying over this 200,000 won deduction, that I'm not used to. But yeah, like besides like not actually seeing my kids for more than a few seconds, because of some of them will like, the students have to come in like groups of like 2 or 3 with their parents or with each other to get their books for their classes, and then they're supposed to just like stay at home and do the online classes. So right now I have to, not right now, but I today started to really prepare for those online classes, because honestly I didn't know anything that was going on, because the Korean teachers didn't know anything that was going on, because this is like such a new thing, like this has never happened before, so everyone's kind of just trying to adjust. So as soon as I found out what I needed to do on Monday, I started planning my online classes, which is essentially just going to be like a 20 to 25-minute video for the students to watch, explaining different grammar patterns, and they will essentially just like watch them, follow along if they feel like it. I'm also uploading worksheets for them to do during and after the class, or after they watch the video. And what else? Yeah. And I've also thought of making like a Quizlet for them to practice their vocabulary, since we won't be able to do like the normal kind of word games that we would do during class. But yeah, honestly, I'm not that. The only thing that kind of upsets me is that I don't have a car. Because if I had a car, this would be the perfect time for me to practice driving while endangering as few people as possible in the process. So that's one thing. The other thing is, if I had a car, it would just be easier to like go to the grocery store. I would have less contact with people, theoretically speaking, because I wouldn't be like on the bus and such. Um, but whatever. I would also like to kind of just like go for drives and stuff, like get out of my town every now and then, which is one of the main reasons why, like, these are all just the reasons why I wanted a car, but specifically at this time, it would be nice to practice while like the roads are sparse with cars. The other thing is the fact that I don't see my students is kind of weird. At this point, I really just have like a desk job, like a 9 to 5 desk job, and that's not my deal at all. That is not, that is not me. So it's been kind of a struggle, but now that I know what I need to do, I have actually set out a plan of action for like every Thursday, this is what I'll do, every Friday, this is what I'll do. So that I have my lesson plans like done and I can practice for the video and then shoot the video and that'll be uploaded, and and so like if that works out the way that I hope it will, I won't actually have very much to do after like the first week or two. Like I'll still be making plans just the same, but it'll be a lot faster most likely. So I'll probably have time to study, which is great. And also I could just like take a walk around the track that's in front of the school. I've seen some teachers do that just to like stand up. But yeah, that's all I really have as an update for you guys. I hope that I'm like updating my old computer right now so that I can use it because it has more space than my current main computer has. So I'm waiting for that to finish updating so that hopefully I can edit my videos and get those out to you guys in a timely fashion. I am trying. But yeah. Thanks for watching this little weird video of me just talking and sitting, and I'm sorry that this was probably really, really boring. But honestly, how many of my videos aren't? Okay, bye!